All right, hey, there are only two drivers who have placed in the top five 2 times or more here at Indianapolis. Larry Mulligan with 3 top 5 finishes, and Jay Bunn, who has won here and also has a top 5 finish. Both drivers also have top 10 finishes here as well. Jody Johnson's RSN Power Rankings for the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series has been posted, and we'll get to that in a little bit, and we'll see where he has Larry and Jay placed for Indy this week. But Tracy, we have an average of 4 cautions here at Indy and RSN Series, with one race on March 26th of this year being caution-free. 33 drivers started the race, 81% of them finished. However, on the following night, March 27th, there were 8 cautions. 37 drivers starts the race. Only 37% of them collected the checkered flag at the end. What can we expect here tonight?
Yeah, JD, I tell you what, I think we're going to look for a good night tonight. But I'll tell you some information here about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The owners of this track are the Holman and Company. The company that operates this track is Indianapolis Motor Speedway Corporation. They broke ground on this track in March 15th in 1909. And then the track opened August 12th, 1909. In that time, it cost $3 million to build this track, JD. And to tell you what about the track surface is asphalt and brick. You know, there's to keep a yard of bricks in the front. It's 2.5 miles long. It's a 4-turn track. The banking in the turn is 9 to 12 degrees, and the straightaways is 0. The lap record held here is a 37.895 at 237 miles an hour by Larry Iyendyk in the 1996 IRL IndyCar Series, JD.
Unbelievable, and that record hasn't been broken yet. Well, I'll tell you what, this week Chris Wilson still manages to hang on to the lead in the points, and we are 3 races away from the season finale at Michigan on August 22nd. And, of course, broadcast live right here on ETV Live. You don't want to miss that race when we wrap up the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series Season 3. This has been a Daytona week here at RSN, with Joe the Counselor DePino winning what amounted to be a fuel mileage race for many last Monday night. Joe qualified in the unlucky 13th position, but quickly tossed that bad omen out the window as his crew chief burned up several calculators to get him to the checkers without running out of gas, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a great job. The fuel mileage came in, and Joe got one of his first wins here at RSN. Tell you what, he did a great job. I'll tell you what, we can have the same thing here tonight at Indy, JD.
Welcome to race number 9 as we begin the countdown with 3 more to go in the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Tonight we're at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the oldest tracks in America, and one with a storied history that has been depicted in movies and novels. The greatest of great auto racing drivers have been here before and have left legacy after legacy right down at the start-finish line, where a yard of bricks dating back 100 years still remains. They call me the Cowboy. Amongst other noteworthy things, I'm your host, J.D. Webb, and beside me tonight, a man who needs no introduction. You all know who we're talking about, the food foreman himself, Tracy Flip Robinson. And as always, here on Monday nights, the man behind the camera is bringing you all the action shots from bumper to bumper, corner to corner. Our executive producer, head camera operator, and chief flavor consultant to Taco Bell, John the Bad Boy Westling. Well, boys, 100 years of racing here at Indianapolis. The only other track with as much notoriety, of course, is Daytona International Speedway, where we camped out all week last week.
Daytona International Speedway, what a fun track. Now we're back out here to India, another big race to win for these guys, and a fun track to race.
I'll tell you what, while we were at Daytona, yours truly took the number 32 ETV Live band car out, got into a couple of races, one last Tuesday night, one Sunday night at the Exile Racing Shakedown Series. However, for the second time in the week, we got took out by the number 3 car, being door slammed into the wall. And you know, Tracy and John, I would never retaliate in a manner that would jeopardize the whole field, nor would I wreck anyone and damage their car on purpose, but paybacks do come in many other forms. Here's an example of how I handled it at Daytona Sunday night. Watch this. You know, it's one thing to get caught up in somebody else's wreck, but, you know, sometimes things just can't be helped. But here, you know, for the second time this week, we get taken out by the number 3 car, and what appears to be just a door slam up into the wall. But I'll tell you what, the payback's coming here pretty quick, as you see the number 3 just kind of bangs into the 32 car, and just 32 car heads for the wall up there. So I'll tell you what, paybacks are a bitch when they come around. And I'll tell you what, the 32 car, we caught up with that number 3 car heading down pit road. Just kind of pulled up to his rear bumper a little bit. Speed limit's 55 miles an hour, but we pushed him up to about 57 miles an hour. 1 lap penalty for speeding in the pits. Meant 1 lap down. I guess that's how you handle that one. All right, and that's how you handle incidents at Daytona. But I'll tell you what, Jody Johnson's got the power rankings posted this week. You want to check them out over at RaceSimNation.com. Click on the off-the-track logo over there on the right-hand side. This week for Indianapolis, this is what Jody has. If we got time, we'll run through them all here. But sitting in the number 1 spot tonight, Tracy, Chris Wilson, that number 84 machine, perhaps the strongest overall driver in this series, sitting in the number 1 spot in the point standings. Chris has 2 wins this season, which came at Kentucky and Charlotte. He's finished in the top 10 of the last 5 races. He's finished second here with a pole position in the past. So look for that 84 car to be here at the end. Hey, in number 2, he's got Jason Riddle at 96 machine, despite finishing 7th, 20th, and 14th in those last 3 races. Jason currently holds 3rd in the point standings and is a threat to win every week. Larry Mulliken. Larry's got some outstanding numbers in both this series and at this track. The last 4 races, he's finished in the top 5, and looking back at this track over 4 previous starts, he's finished 4th, 3rd, 4th, and 7th. If cautions fall his way, look for this exile racing driver to be kissing the bricks when it's over. Sitting in the number 4 position, Dwayne Hall. It's been a bit of a struggle for that 55 Halls on Post driver this season, despite a win at Nashville and 2 other top 5s. One thing for sure is this team thrives on super speedways and are always front runners. Sitting in the number 5 position, James Greget in that number 7 machine. James started off the season winning 3 of the first 4 races. I'll tell you what, in the last 4, he's finished 15th, 10th, 2nd, and 17th. Another Halls on Post driver you can bet will be a contender for the win. That's the top 5. We'll get to the bottom 5 here in a little bit after the race starts. Right now, we want to take you down through the points and tell you who's who and who's where in the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Hey, we'll start out with the top here. If luck were a wheelbarrow full of spare lug nuts, that 84 car would be pulling a trailer full of them around Indianapolis Speedway tonight. Chris Wilson, with only 1 top 5 finish at Indianapolis several weeks ago, was in a close battle with Jason Riddle. Now that he's won that fight, here comes James Greget, a former championship driver from the nation, to chase down Wilson in a run for the top. Wilson, number 1 in the power rankings this week, currently 13 points out. Look closely in his rearview mirror tonight. James Greget is coming on strong. And James Greget, second to none. Well, second to Chris Wilson, at least for the time being. Greget, a member of the All in the Hall family, Halls on Post racing team, pushing hard to gain on Wilson. At least keep him in the gun sight. Sitting 13 points back, Greget ranked number 5 this week in Jody Johnson's power rankings, finally putting it together for what may be a blood and guts battle for the championship. Jason Riddle, 5 top 5 finishes and 4 top 10s, ranked in the number 2 spot behind Wilson this week. Slipped down from 2nd to 3rd last week after a bad day at New Hampshire, sitting 27 points behind Wilson. He once was only 3 points back, but running out of steam. Greget replaced him after New Hampshire, Greget finishing 2nd. Jason needs a win tonight if he wants to get back to within striking distance of Wilson. Larry Mulliken, coming off a 3rd place finish at New Hampshire, backs it up with a 2nd place finish at Daytona and is the number 3 ranked driver here at Indy by Jody Johnson. Larry has been quietly sneaking his way to the front with solid performance and comes to Indy with 3 top 5 finishes and 1 win to his credit, sitting 4th in the fourth place, up 2 positions, 33 points back from Wilson and only 6 points back from Riddle. Danny Gabaldon, 5 top 5 finishes, finished 10th at Daytona, moving up 2 positions this week. A solid 5th place effort puts him at the top 5 Halls on Post Pro Series. Also ranked number 6 this week in the power rankings for Indianapolis. In 6th position, moving down 1 notch, Dwayne Hall sits 47 points behind the leader now. Tony Bowling, wow, what's happening with Tony? Slipped down 3 positions, guys, 49 points behind Chris Wilson. In 8th position, Frankie Samanto, 54 points behind the leader. No movement there. Sean Brown hasn't moved a bit in the last couple of weeks, guys. 76 points behind the leader in 9th place, rounding out the top 10. Jesse the Wall banging Racimus having a pretty decent season thus far. Still no movement in the points. 90 points behind the leader. And at this time, I think we need to take it down trackside. National recording artists, the Cactus Cuties, together with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back live. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. I'll tell you what, the number 2 driver tonight, James Gregate, not here. And from what I understand, looking over here in the chat room, getting some information that he may be stuck at work tonight. So Halls on Post driver James Gregate sitting in a number 2 position behind Chris Wilson, not here tonight. All right, let's get them lined up down here on pit road. Qualifying on the pole tonight, going to be Chris Melton, 49.95, Tracy.
And starting second tonight, the number 16 of Kyle Lynn.
Jesse the Wall banger Racimus starting in 3rd position tonight.
Starting in 4th, the number 55 of Dwayne Hall.
Kevin Brent starting 5th tonight.
Starting 6th, the 96 of Jason Riddle.
Starting in 7th position tonight, Steven Spiess.
Starting 8th tonight, the 84 of Chris Wilson.
Jay Bunn will be starting 9th tonight.
Starting 10th, the winner of Daytona, the 34 of Joe DePino.
All right, starting in 11th position tonight, the number 47 car, Roger Haygood.
Starting in 12th, the 22 of Frankie Samanto.
Danny Gabaldon in the 62 machine starting 13th.
14th, the 8 of Dave Hooten.
And starting in 15th tonight, the 52 car of Don Klein.
And your 16th place starter is a 33 of Jerry Hinkle.
And my good friend, who's going to finish second, starting in 17th position tonight, is going to be that number 3 car, Hal Beardsworth.
It's starting in the 18th position, the 28 of Howard Pittman.
Brian Pace in the number 15 tonight, starting 19th.
Starting in 20th position, the 65 of Sean Brown.
Starting 21st tonight, the number 60, Ed Williams.
And trailing the field, following it up from behind to the 22th spot, the 21 of Tony Bowling.
All right, 70 laps here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway tonight, Tracy. I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling back here in last place, unusual place for him to start here at Indianapolis. Typically, he's had a pretty decent run here. Not quite sure if he had some issues during qualifying or not.
Yeah, we got some pretty strong runners back here, JD. You got the 65 of Sean Brown also towards the back, and that 52 of Don Klein, and the 8 of Dave Hooten. Those are all good drivers. They're all starting mid-pack or worse, JD.
You bet. You know, went through them pre-race just a little bit ago, talking about the guys that have been here before. We want to keep our eye on Larry Mulliken tonight and see what he can do as we take the green flag. Chris Melton's going to pick it up. Kyle Lent on the outside here. I tell you what, turn 1 and 2 is going to be the big issue here, approaching 150, 170 miles an hour here as we get into the turns. Looks like everybody's going to get down in here too wide, tucking it down tight. Dwayne Hall up on the outside, almost contact with, looked like with Melton there. Yeah,
I tell you what, it's really tough on the outside on this track, JD, because your car tends to start pushing on you before you expect it. A good job by all these guys getting through there without getting in the wall. Now we'll see how they run through 3 here, JD.
You bet. And you know, we just mentioning Larry Mulliken just a bit ago. Looking down through the lineup tonight, Larry Mulliken not at Indianapolis tonight. Got to wonder why that is. Him and James Griegate, 2 of the biggest contenders here at the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series, absent from Indianapolis tonight. Single file now, pretty much all the way back here, 70 laps. We're looking at pit stops coming anywhere between 16 and 20 laps, Tracy.
Yeah, JD, there's that old strategy of what gear ratio you're running. If you're running a real tight winding gear of your engine, you're going to use more fuel. If you have a little better, not running the engine so hard, you're going to get a lot better fuel mileage, JD, which could come to the end of this race and help everybody out, as I see they're all still single filed, a little moving around up front though.
Yeah, you bet. You know what, we were talking about the power rankings before the race started here. We left off at number 6. Want to mention Danny Gabaldon. Danny started, I believe it was 13th tonight at Indianapolis. And Danny's up 2 spots this week in the point standings, takes over the number 5 spot. But you know, even though he's had some subpar finishes this season, I'll tell you what, Danny, you can count on, you know, one thing you can count on for him, he will finish the race, and his percentages show that he'll more than likely be in the top 10 before it's all over with. So I'll tell you what, looking for good things out of that number 62 machine, currently running in 11th position back here. 2 laps into 70 laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A lot of racing here, 2.5 mile track. So we'll have to keep an eye on Danny Gabaldon tonight and see how he can fare tonight. But out in front, Kyle Lent and Dwayne Hall. Dwayne making a quick move up to the front on that first lap. He's got Chris Melton in behind him. Jesse the wall banging Racimus. Now we've seen Jesse come from behind and go all the way up to the front here before. Jesse having a pretty decent run the last couple of times we were here at Indianapolis, Tracy.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little spread out there, JD. The top 8 have kind of got off in their own group. As a 34 of Joe DePino just got passed by 2 cars, the 22 of Frankie Simano and the 3 of Hal Beardsworth just got around Joe DePino. So he's kind of moving backwards at the moment, JD. As this run goes on, we'll see who's got the setup for a long run and who don't, JD.
I was just looking at the previous races that we've run here. I think it was back in January. Jesse Racimus finishing in the top 5. In fact, he finished 5th here at Indianapolis. I believe that looks like that's his best effort here at Indianapolis. So definitely can get the job done here as he's currently running in fourth. But I tell you what, you know, much like Daytona, this is the kind of track where you just got to kind of sit back, take it easy. The race really doesn't start until
Yeah, we've got the top three running up there. I tell you what, they're really trying to get by Kyle Lent. Dwayne Hall is right on the back bumper of Kyle. The 78 of Chris Melton is doing everything he can to get back up in front of these guys where he started on the pole. But I tell you what, so far it's been a nice, good, clean race. Haven't seen anybody get in the wall yet so far, JD.
You know, it was back on January 20th of this year. Kyle Lent finished second here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So Kyle Lent is another one that has had good results here in the past. So we'll keep an eye on that number 16 machine tonight for sure. Other drivers that have placed well here. Dan White, of course, a former champion here at the nation. And Dwayne Hall. Dwayne Hall currently running second behind Kyle Lent. Dwayne Hall actually won this race on January 20th of this year. That was a race where we only had 2 cautions, Tracy.
Yeah, I remember that race. That was a really good race, JD. I think I was in that one. I was having a good run, got on the brakes a little bit, lost it, and got in the wall. But I tell you what, we're really having a nice run here. Tell you what, as we're getting 5 laps into this race, tell you what, it's about when the tires really start to get a little hot. You'll see some of these cars start pushing toward the wall, JD, and a few cars moving backwards probably.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I was talking to Tony Bowling down in the garage a little while ago before the race, you know, and he was talking to me about tires and looking for right rear tires that could get a little overheated, causing the front right to you know, transfer heat as well and make those cars start to push a little bit. So possible right side rear tires here as they might get overheated. So we'll have to take a look and see what kind of conditions exist here when we get about 15 laps into this thing. Pit stops coming around 16 to 20 laps, like Tracy said, depending on what your gear settings was, and we'll be looking for that to take place. Checking over here in the chat room over here, want to say good evening to Angela Hall, sitting over there in the chat room, as always, watching her drivers tonight. Angela, what happened to Greegate? David Bass for DB Tech Services over there. The Dragon Queen herself, Wendy Bernard, new owner of Dragon Motorsports. And, of course, I see ETV John over there kind of monitoring. Well, I guess we're all kind of monitoring what's going on over there. And I see a newcomer tonight, Tony Brent. I want to say good evening to Tony Brent. Welcome to ETV, the nation, here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway tonight. 7 laps into this thing. And I'll tell you what, clean and green so far, Tracy.
Yeah, it's been a nice looking race, JD. Everybody seems to be giving each other room. We're looking at a possibly no yellow flag race tonight, the way it's going, JD. Tell you what, Dwayne Hall ain't giving Kyle Lent any room. He's waiting for Kyle to make a mistake in one of these corners, maybe push up, give him that opening and have him get by. But tell you what, Kyle Lent's been holding a really good line around the track, JD.
You bet. You know what? Go back here to 20th position. Joe DePino back here. Sean Brown and Howard Pittman just getting around Joe DePino. So not sure what's going on with the counselor here. Is Sean Brown working the bottom side of Howard Pittman and gets around him coming off of turn 2. So I tell you what, Joe DePino seems to be gathering it back up here. Pulls right up to the rear bumper of Howard Pittman. Not sure what DePino might have been experiencing a little. Maybe a little push in his car. Oh, and I see skid marks and brake smoke, Tracy.
From Joe DePino there, JD. I hear you're talking about Joe, but you got some brake marks and somebody getting too hot into the corner, and probably JD or possibly pushing to that wall. Yeah,
that could have been. We just had 3 wide here with Frankie Samato, Klein, and Jay Bunn back here. And you know, it might have been Jay Bunn. I don't know whether can't tell if that's a little bit of damage on the right side of his car or not. Jay Bunn,
and
a caution comes up for the first time here at Indianapolis. Looks like it's the number 3 car. Hal Beardsworth, guys, spinning around here. Looks like coming off of, I want to say coming off of turn number 2 back here. Hal Beardsworth in that number 3 machine. See if we can't
JD will bring up the first one, and that was Jay Bunn that you were just talking about just a second ago here. He's going to dip below that apron just a little bit and get that car wicked loose. What a job saving that car. Barely hits the outside wall with the right rear of that quarter panel. He ends up saving it after he hits that wall a little bit. And we'll try and pull it back here and see if we can see what happened to Hal Beardsworth.
Yeah, that almost looks like...
that was a great save by Jay Bunn.
Yeah, well, it looks like Hal might have caught the apron there a little bit. Tony Bowling right in there behind him, John. And Tony, I don't know if he had any contact there or not, but Jerry?
Guys, you are all incorrect. It's who's going to finish 2? Hal Beardsworth loops it all the way around, clips the apron. Same time the 37 did. Heavy damage to the back end of the car, John. That came from the number 3 driving that good wrench Chevrolet tonight, guys.
Yeah, I couldn't quite get that found where Hal Beardsworth was. And I see it now, guys. It was actually Jerry Wolf way after Jay Bunn spun. He comes down the apron trying to make a move on Jay Bunn after he recovered it. Tony Boland's right behind him, gets loose on the apron. I don't know how in the world that 21 car Tony Boland missed Hal Beardsworth. But Beardsworth goes around, smacks the wall pretty hard, guys. Going to slide through the infield. He's going to nail both walls here, inside and out.
I'll tell you what, guys, this is basically a super speedway track, and aerodynamics plays a big part in your race here tonight. So a lot of damage, right side damage to the back of that number 3 good wrench car tonight. So not sure whether he's going to be able to even keep up the pace or not. But I'll tell you what, first caution coming out here on lap 9 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They're all heading down pit road. Tracy?
Yeah, everybody's going to get in, get fresh tires. Look at some of these guys possibly to throw on scuffs, JD. Get off those qual tires. You got 37 of Jay Bunn and also that 3 car of Hal Beardsworth to get damage repaired and get back out on the track, and we'll see how they run after that, JD.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, good opportunity to step away and take a real commercial break here. A real quick one. You're watching a live, ETV Live, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Hey, don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back live. Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. I'll tell you what, you want to catch the action here on Monday nights, tune into ETV Live. Right up there on the link, you go to racesimnation.com, just click on the live feed link. I'll tell you what, the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series, ain't no better drivers out here on the in the online racing arena than right here at the Nation. I'll tell you what, caution coming up for this first time here, Tracy. We've got an average of 4 cautions, we'll call it, here at Indianapolis. We had one race this year that was caution-free, but I'll tell you what, we did have another race back in March of this year. We had 8 cautions. Only 37% of the drivers finished that race. 37 of them started, so less than half were able to finish the race and collect the green flag. So hopefully we're not going to have a repeat of that night tonight.
Nice part of the JD. It's just a person catching the apron. As we always like to say, the apron is never your friend on any of these tracks. So maybe if these guys keep them off the apron a little bit, they'll keep the caution down, because so far it doesn't look like anybody is really getting into anybody else. Get them loose and out of shape. So it's just a matter of catching the apron, JD.
You know, let's talk about our number 7th in the power rankings. Going to be that number 37, Jay Bunn. Jay Bunn having a difficult time here tonight in the early stages of the race. Jay's got one win at this track back in January and a couple other top 10 finishes here. And he's currently sitting 12th in the points, tied with two of drivers battling for the 10th spot. But I'll tell you what, over the last week at the Nation, he's finished 8th, 7th, 1st, and 5th in his event. So I'll tell you what, Jay Bunn, provided he gets that car fixed up and the dents pulled out of it and that thing's in pretty decent shape tonight, you know, look for Jay Bunn to possibly hit the top 10 up here before the race is over, Tracy.
Yeah, it looks like his other guy's got to the back of that car straightened out. But you know, that right side of your car, that rear quarter panel, helps a lot with downforce in those corners, keep you with the side force to keep the cars from getting loose. So hopefully he tightened that car up a little bit possibly, and everything, they got it pretty straight, because I tell you what, that right quarter panel really makes a difference on these tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to go back to green here again. Kyle Lentz still out there in front, going to pick up his second green flag of the night. He's got Chris Melton behind him. Dwayne Hall's got a win here at Indianapolis, sitting in third. Jesse Racimas, the wall banger Racimas, still hanging on to a top 5 up here at fourth, but they've got Jason Riddle in that 96 Elite Sim Racing machine right behind him. Hey, just real quickly here, I want to say hello to Larry Mulligan. Larry, where are you, my friend? You're supposed to be out here at Indianapolis. You've got probably the best record of anybody out here tonight, and it's a shame not seeing you here, but I do see you down there in the chat window. Kyle Lent picking up the green flag. Chris Melton right on his bumper. And I'll tell you what, Dwayne Hall watching all that action take place out his windshield as Jason Riddle gets passed by Jesse Racimas. Now, Jesse Racimas, Tracy, this is what he's known for right from the get-go. Lead foot, put the throttle down, and let's get this puppy on the road.
I would just like to say, get everything while you can, while the tires are still cold. When you have the best grip you got all day long, try to get past as many cars as you can on about them first 3 laps, JD.
Yeah, you know, watching the real race over the weekend here at Indianapolis, you know, much like the real deal here, I mean, you got to get it while you can right from the get-go from the first couple of laps. After that, it pretty much breaks down into single-file racing. It's very difficult to pass here. You kind of got to do it at the end of the front straight or the back straight going into the turn, unlike a lot of other tracks where you want to get your passes done at the exit of the turn. But I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys do have their work cut out for them tonight. But I'll tell you what, Jesse Racimas is making fast action moving up there to the front and getting right up onto Dwayne Hall's bumper up here. Single file all the way back, guys, as we roll backwards here. And tell you, it looks like Brian Pace in that 15 car putting it up on the hauler for tonight, guys. Going to call it a night and head for the barn, Tracy.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that the 17 parked the car at about lap 7, JD. Looks like all these guys are running pretty good right now. There's like watching Jay Bunn here. His car seems to be running pretty good still. His crew must have got that fixed. And I was checking on the 3 of Hal Beardsworth. He's hanging on back there. Hasn't lost a lot of speed, but I think it has compromised his handling, JD.
Yeah, more than likely so, I'm sure of that. But I'll tell you what, let's take a check on our points leader down here, running in 6th position, the 84 car, Chris Wilson, Elite Sim Racing team, holding his own. I'll tell you what, he's got teammate Jason Riddle out there in front of him. But you know what, this isn't team racing tonight, so I'm not sure how far the team friendship goes here at Indianapolis. Jason Riddle was tracking down Chris Wilson here just a couple of weeks ago, was sitting in 2nd, but got overthrown by James Griegate, who also, along with Larry Mulligan, is absent from Indianapolis. This could have been a big deal for both of those drivers here tonight as Chris Wilson works himself right up to the bumper of Jason Riddle, Tracy.
Yeah, that's making it a lot easier for Chris Wilson to hang on to this point lead with them guys not showing up on a continuous night, because I know James Griegate does have obligations he has to take care of. But I tell you what a great race. These guys look like they're just taking it easy with their cars, trying to get the full fuel loads out and waiting to the end of the race, JD, to move forward.
Yeah, 47 car, Roger Haygood having some issues, guys. Roger Haygood back down on the apron here, way down on the apron. Looks like his car's coming to a stop. Not quite sure what that's all about. Don't know if he got into the wall or what's going on with that 47 machine there, Tracy.
Not too sure, JD. I'll take a look here for you, but looks like he's having possibly pedal issues. It looks like his brakes are locked up on him, JD.
Yeah, 47 machine, Roger Haygood down there on the apron, just can't, doesn't look like he can get that thing moving. I'll tell you what, out here in front, it's Kyle Lent, Chris Melton, Dwayne Hall, Jesse Racimus. I'll tell you what, those boys making it look real easy, but you know what? They've got Chris Wilson, Jason Riddle chasing them down. Steven Spiess up there along with them, driving for the new Dragon Motorsports team, that 22 car, Frankie Samanto. I understand Frankie painted up some brand new machines for the Dragon Motorsports here this last week or so. And Tony Bowling. Tony Bowling started dead last tonight, guys, in that 21 machine, driving for Halls on Post. I don't know what was up with his qualifying run, but I'll tell you what, Tony working himself back into the top 10, currently running in 9th position. I'll tell you what, he's working over the back bumper of that 22 machine, Tracy.
Yep, trying to work their way forward. I tell you, it's really tough out here. Like I said, all you can do is follow these guys and hope one of them makes a mistake. I was checking on that 47 of Haygood. Yeah, it looks like he got some pedal issues. It looks like his brakes locked up on him. That's what ended his night. They finally got it taken into the pit road, and yeah, pretty much all four the master cylinder locked under pressure, and that's the end of his night, JD.
That's unfortunate for that 47 machine, Roger Haygood. I'll tell you what, the 18 laps into a 70-lap run here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're about halfway through this tire run, guys. Pit stops coming up here probably in about 8 or 9 laps here as we work lap 19 here at Indianapolis. Tony Bowling, I tell you what, he has just been all over the back bumper of Frankie Samanto up here. Samanto not giving an inch. I've been behind Frankie Samanto before too. And I'll tell you what, you need to get a map to try to find your way around that 22 machine. As Tony's just trying to get him down here, going down the backstretch, just doesn't have the horsepower to get up to his door to be able to get on the inside. Samanto makes it look easy going through turn 3 and 4 here. I'll tell you what, Tony will have another shot here coming off of turn 4, heading down the front stretch. But I'll tell you, Frankie Samanto just gets through those turns with a breeze. Tony Bowling looks like he's having a little bit of trouble coming off those turns, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, JD, it's just so hard at this point in the race to get around somebody. As you can see, Tony Bowling's actually losing a little time on him. I'm watching in the back here, right, we're hanging around with Hal Beardsworth in the 15th position of the 42 of Kevin Brent. Unusual spot to see him running. He's slowly trying to make his way forward, but he's got a lot of cars to pass and move forward, back up to the front, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And another check on that Hal Beardsworth, that number 3 Goodwrench machine back here. Looks like he's considerably off the pace. We'll call it 7 seconds behind the leader here, running in 16th place. Remember, he was involved in that caution come out on lap 9, and took a hard look into both walls. As smoke coming off the pit road down here, Tracy. Somebody heading for the pits.
Yeah, JD, it's the 70 of Jesse Racimus. He decided to hit pit road. Not too sure what's going on. My guess is he's got a tire going down, guys.
That very well could be a little bit early for green flag pit stops here yet.
Cue this up, JD. I don't mean to interrupt you. See what happened to Jesse here. He's going to come down the pit. Guys, it looks like this is a routine stop for Jesse. I don't know if he pitted last time or what, but I didn't see him hit the wall. I didn't really see anything going on with Jesse. He just came down pit road.
Well, it's kind of an unusual, but you know what, Tracy, guys down in the garage were telling me, hey, look for green flag pit stops to occur anywhere between 16 laps and 20 laps. So, could be part of the strategy for that number 70 Red Bull machine tonight. And we'll have to keep an eye on Jesse Racimus and, see what happens with him.
Yeah, it could just be changing up pit strategy. Get in there a little earlier, have a little faster car maybe for a few laps. possibly catch everybody else, green flag stops, and possibly make some time on them guys, JD, and get ahead of them.
You bet. And we should have green flag pit stops coming here in about three laps or so. It looks like, at least it has the earmarks for that, is Tony Bowling trying to get the run on Frankie Samanto. Got him on the inside down here, coming through turn 4, guys. Looks like Tony Bowling's going to take that position over from Frankie Samanto, moving into 7th, Jerry.
Hey guys, tell you what, down here on pit road, talk to the crew chief on that 70 car. Unscheduled pit stop, guys. Got a lot of damage, hit the wall there. Just a quick, okay, let's get it in, get it fixed now so we don't lose any more time than we're going to. So that was not a scheduled pit stop. That was to repair damage.
All right, you heard it from our pit road reporter tonight, Jerry the Corn Dog Wolf, as always, down there running up and down pit road. Jesse Versemus, a little bit of wall damage, unscheduled pit stop. Well, I'll tell you what, Jesse Versemus is quick to get back out there on the track. We'll see what that 70 machine can do for us tonight. I'll tell you what, green flag pit stop's coming our way just shortly. Why don't we go ahead and cut away? We'll take a quick commercial break here. You're watching live, ETV Live. It's the only choice. The Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Gorilla Customs manufactures cockpit simulation controls and performance computers that are innovative and at the highest level of design and application standard. They work hand in hand with professionals throughout real-world racing to provide technology and fabrication industry's highest level of unmatched quality. Made in the USA, people. Check them out today. Your place for your highest gaming simulation standard. www.gorillacustoms.com.
All right, and we are back live. I'll tell you what, green flag pit stop should be coming here just momentarily here. It's been about 16 laps since that last caution, Tracy. But I tell you what, the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series, these boys know how to get the job done. And you know what? Gorilla Customs, you want to sit in one of these machines and drive one of these cars, do it in one of these Gorilla Customs cockpits, welded steel frame. It's got attachments for your computer monitor, all your game paraphernalia, your steering wheel, pedals, the whole 9 yards. I'll tell you what, you can just strap yourself into one of those things and have a good time. Tony Bowling working over the bottom side here underneath, trying to get past that 7-8 of Chris Melton up here. Tony Bowling making a mad dash towards the front. I'll tell you what, Tony's sick and tired of being back there in the back, worked himself past Klein and Samanto, sitting in 7th position tonight, Tracy.
Yeah, pretty much holding a good spot there, JD. I've seen a lot of smoke going into turn 1. I was trying to review that, find out what happened up there, but I tell you, I couldn't find nothing. These guys are running nice, clean laps. I know I've been watching 96 of Jason Riddle. Has really been working on that 78 car. He's tried to stick his nose several times underneath him down the front stretch, but just can't get by him, JD.
I'll tell you what, right now we're probably looking at some green flag pit stops should start taking place here just momentarily, so I'm not quite sure what another position at this point in the game would do for you. You might get 1 or 2 laps on them, but tell you what, they should be happening here pretty darn quick. But I tell you what, Kyle Lent been out there from the get-go, guys. I tell you what, he's got a pretty good finish here too. Finished 2nd in the race on January 20th. So Kyle Lent, he definitely knows how to get around this track and what he needs to do to take care of that car. But I'll tell you what, he's got a significant lead over Dwayne Hall, who's running 2nd here. Dwayne been up here in the top 5 from the get-go. Dwayne Hall also won this race back in January. So Dwayne Hall has a couple of pretty good finishes here at Indianapolis as well, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, the 99 of Steve Speeds, he's doing a great job. Hanging around back there in 6th place. He really doesn't have any cars around him, but he's got, I know the 21 of Tony Bowling has really been on a tear. He's been catching these guys and running some great times back there, JD.
Yeah, Jason Riddle just made it around the 78 of Chris Melton up here, guys, coming off of turn 4. As we've got pit stops taking place, Tracy.
Yeah, JD, we got the leader of the race, the 16 of Kyle Lent has entered the pit road, guys. Looks like he's going to stop and get some tires and fresh fuel. And the rest of the cars stayed out, JD.
All right, that's 19 laps between stops for Kyle Lent for that 16 machine. But tell you what, we'll keep an eye on the rest of them out here. Dwayne Hall still out here on the track. Not sure if he's going to pit this lap or not. This would make 20 laps around. Remember, we're looking at anywhere from 16 to 20 laps on fuel and on pit stops here. So Dwayne Hall coming off of turn 4, probably going to pit this time.
Yeah, JD, we got some more takers coming in here. The 21 of Tony Bolin, the 52 of Don Klein, and the 99 of Steve Spieth, all hitting pit road now, JD.
78 car moves up beside Dwayne Hall for the lead up here. 78 car Chris Melton going in turn 1 here, coming around turn 2. Dwayne Hall backing up to Jason Riddle and Chris Wilson, guys. Not sure what's going on with that 55 machine. I got a funny feeling probably right rear tires burning hot.
Yeah, JD, I'm watching pit road here. I'm not too sure, but if Dwayne Hall got pushed high at all, when Chris Melton got around him, that would be enough to let all the cars get by. But I tell you what, we still got more cars coming in. The 3 of Hal Beardsworth getting ready to enter pit lane coming around, JD. And just to note, JD, the 70 of Jesse Racines is now in front of that number 16 of Kyle Lent.
All right, I'll tell you what, the pit strategy paying off for that number 70 machine. But I'll tell you what, you know, reported by Jerry, damage to that number 70 machine, that Red Bull car, Jesse Racines. So we'll have to keep an eye on that to see just how long he can stay out in front of the kid, Kyle Lent. And we got a number of them coming down pit road. Dwayne Hall's down there, Chris Wilson, Jason Riddle, all your leaders down here on pit road, Tracy.
JD, sorry, Tracy, I want to pull this back to pits here. Howard Pittman, that 28 car, almost gets in big trouble here as he comes down pit road. He's coming in way, way hot here, guys. Really has to lock his brakes up. He does make the commitment cone, but he almost gave Al Beardsworth all he wanted in the back of that machine, but he did get it slowed down.
That's like, that's about like leaving the track and entering to pits over at Daytona. Boy, you really got to get that machine woed up. Looks like Chris Wilson beat his teammate Jason Riddle out of the pits, guys. Dwayne Hall back here as well. But I tell you what, out there in front is going to be that number 78 machine. Well, actually, he's coming down pit road now. Chris Melton finally making it in the pits. Frankie Samanto coming down the pits for Dragon Motorsports. Jay Bunn in the pits. Jerry Hinkle, all your guys that stayed out now coming down the pit road here. Looks like Kyle Lent, as soon as this gets cycled around, guys, looks like Kyle Lent may pick up the lead one more time as Jesse Racines may be falling back behind Kyle, Tracy.
Yeah, you got to remember Jesse's got about 10 laps on these tires compared to Kyle, who's got fresh tires. So look at Jesse Racines to be coming in here in about 10 laps, JD. But I'll tell you what, he still did make up a few spots by doing that move, and it got him up front for a couple seconds there, JD.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, looks like that Red Bull machine, I don't see a whole lot of damage on it, but I'll tell you what, being able to hold his own out there, still got that machine pretty much up to speed. So Jesse Racines, wall banging Racines, having at it tonight here at Indianapolis. Of course, you know, we've talked about him before. Jesse Racines has got a top 5 finish here, and you know, he's usually does pretty good here at Indianapolis. So we'll see how long he can keep it up here tonight. But further back in the pack back here, Chris Wilson working on that 78 machine of Chris Melton as he gets down on the bottom underneath Chris, going to come off turn 2, heading down the backstretch side by side. This is where you know, this is where you play chicken. You know, going down these straightaways. Who's it going to be going into the next turn? It looks like Chris Wilson's got the horsepower. Of course, he's got Jason Riddle behind him, helping him push down that back straight into turn 3, Tracy.
Yep, the 99 of Steve Spieth right behind that group, JD, with the 21 of Tony Bowling. They were drag racing down into corner 3, and 99 of Steve Spieth came out ahead as they were working right behind the 78 of Chris Melton now, JD.
Yeah, Tony Bowling moving up quite a few positions here. Started dead last in the field tonight, and unusual starting place for Tony Bowling for sure. Part of that Halls on Post team as he works himself past Steven Spies into sixth position. But I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling, like I said, unusual to see him start way in the back. He's usually a front runner, can qualify well. Usually at any given track, typically would see him in at least the top 7 or 8 at pretty much any track on a qualifying run. So not quite sure what happened to him, but I'll tell you what, he's made quick work of getting back out there in front. 33 laps into 70-lap run here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tony Bowling for Halls on Post Racing Team, now sitting in 6th position, guys.
Yeah, JD, and kind of the biggest loser looks like in pit road with that 55 of Dwayne Hall. He's lost 6 positions. Kind of is behind Tony Bowling and Steve Spies. So look for the 55 of Dwayne Hall to try to work his way back up the front, JD.
I'll tell you what, having a pretty decent run here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway here tonight. And I'll tell you what, you want to watch this race again, here's where you can get it. You go over to etv-eplay.net to the ePlay store, and you can download that race probably in the next 24 hours. 99-cent downloads, dude. I'll tell you what, you put $10 on your account over there. It's whoa, Hall getting almost out of shape as a 99 car hits the wall, bounces off in front of Hall. That was a very good save by that 55 machine there, John Westling. I don't know if that's worth picking back up on the replay or not. I'll tell you what, Steven Spies almost getting sideways there. It looks like he might have bounced off the wall.
Yeah, let's see if we can cue this back, see exactly what happened. You have to be talking about the e-plays, and next season, JD Webb, any member here that pays the $10 membership here is going to get free e-plays for the season. What do you think of that, JD?
Holy cow. I'll tell you what, ain't no better deal than that. You want to strap one of these machines on, hey, $10, get over here to RaceSimNation.com, get signed up. And I'll tell you what, get your cars submitted, get them in the garage over here at RaceSimNation.com. I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a deal. For the $10, you get unlimited downloads at the ETV ePlay store. That's a pretty cool deal, I'll tell you. Right now, they're 99 cents. But I'll tell you, for any member next season, they'll be absolutely free. But you know what? You can let them pile up on your hard drive. Have an ETV party. Invite your buddies over to sit and watch ETV e-plays on your machine. Burn them to a DVD. Have an e-play party. Corn dogs and Coronas, dude. etv-eplay.net.
Yeah, JD, I tell you what, those e-plays are great, and that's a great deal for all you racers out there who want to get out here and drive. I tell you, you can't beat that deal. Get all the replays with your entry into the season here at our Race Sim Nation. But I tell you what, we've got a great race going on tonight, JD. Only one caution so far, and I tell you what, these guys are doing a great job. I've seen the 70 of Jesse Seamus. He's kind of fell way back behind the 99 of Steve Spies. Some old tires are catching up to him, but he'll be pitting anytime now.
Hey, you bet. Kyle Lent has a 4.5-second lead over second place car, Chris Wilson, guys. I'll tell you what, Chris Wilson and that 96 machine, Jason Riddle, teammates for the Elite Sim Racing team, working together as they come down to the backstretch going into turn 3. I'll tell you what, those two boys using that draft, going to try to get back up there and make up some time on Kyle Lent. But I'll tell you what, the kid, Kyle Lent, he's managing to pretty much stay consistent with his lap times up there, 4.3 seconds ahead of Wilson.
JD, I'm going to pull this camera. This is Kyle Lent comes into turn 1 here, and I'm going to tell you how long it is before we see Chris Wilson here. He just entered in turn 3. And Chris Wilson just now hitting turn 3. That's how big of a lead this youngster's got in that 16 car.
I'll tell you what, Kyle Lent making it look plumb easy out here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But, looking back through the records, we talked about him before. He's got a pretty decent finish here on January 20th. Finished second to Dwayne Hall here at Indianapolis, Tracy.
Give a little information, guys. The 70 of Jesse Seamus talked to his crew chief. He went in the pit lane. He stopped and just got 2 tires this time, JD. But then I was also looking at the lap times of that 16 Kyle Lent and the lap times of Chris Wilson, Jason Riddle. Right now, they're 2/10 faster a lap than the 16 car is, guys, so they should be able to catch up to them.
39 laps into a 70-lap run here, guys. We'll get as soon as Kyle Lent comes back around, picks up the 40th lap. 30 laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'll tell you what, the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Next race is going to be at John's favorite track. Going to be at Pocono on August 8th, guys. So you want to check that one out. That'll be right here on ETV Live, and we'll be there too. And I'll tell you what, on Wednesday night, coming up this week on the 3rd, I tell you, you don't want to miss this race. This is the MTCO.com Team Racing Series, and we're going to be at Atlanta. I'll tell you what, Tracy, we've got Atlanta coming up, Texas, Darlington, and a final race for the MTCO.com Team Series at Homestead on the 24th of this month.
Yeah, I tell you what, those are some great tracks coming up. We're really going to make it really tight for that battle for that championship this year in the Team Series. We have two teams fighting it out all the way to the end. I think we're going to fight out all the way to the end too, JD.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, some of the best racing you'll ever find online here is going to be right here at the Nation, both on Monday nights and on Wednesday nights. Of course, the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series, these are basically hand-picked drivers who have outstanding records, know how to get the job done. I'll tell you what, it's been the finest racing I've seen in a long, long time right here at the Nation. I'll tell you what, 40 laps in the books here at Indianapolis. And why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a commercial break. We should have green flag pit stops coming our way again here in about 8 laps or so. So why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a commercial break. You're watching it live, ETV Live. It's the only choice. Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Don't go away. We'll be right back. MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers, hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, we are back live. Indianapolis Motor Speedway is, we get 42 laps in the books here. I'll tell you what, MTCO.com. No better choice for your gaming servers than MTCO Communications. You want to get a hold of bad boy Jerry Wolf over there. I'll tell you what, he'll set you up. You want to get over there, MTCO.com. And $49 a month, hotshot. Ain't no better deal than that anywhere. And no contracts or nothing. So see Jerry Wolf, and he'll get you signed up. I tell you what, back out here, you know, Chris Wilson, Jason Riddle working those laps a little bit here. They've been able to make up about a second on Kyle Lent, but you know, I'm afraid, Tracy, that Kyle's got such a lead out here. Now we've got pit stops coming up. Kyle should be stopping here in about, I'm going to call it in about 7 laps or so, and Jason Riddle and Chris Wilson went around 2 more times to Kyle's first stop. So Kyle may be able to build even a better lead with this pit stop coming up if Wilson and Riddle can't make up that time on him.
Yeah, I tell you what, something that slowed down Kyle Lent, he got caught up to lap traffic there. But I tell you what, this car looks like it's starting to become a handful for him here towards the end of this run here, JD. I see him getting out of the throttle a little bit more, coming off the corners, trying to stay out of that wall as Chris Wilson has now cut that lead down to 2.4 seconds. So I tell you what, they may get within maybe 2 seconds of Kyle Lent before he pits. But yeah, Kyle with his pit stops, his crew's doing a great job. It's possible he could pull out another couple seconds on him, JD.
Yeah, you bet. Moving back through the field here a little bit, running in 5th position is one of those Halls on Post team drivers, Dwayne Hall. He's got teammate Tony Bowling behind him. 99 car Steven Spieth, about 5 car lengths behind those two. And I'll tell you what, looks like all these guys are starting to have a little bit of an issue, starting to back it off just a little bit early going into these turns. I can imagine right rear tires getting hot. That's what Tony was talking about earlier down in the garage this afternoon. As Tony almost takes the gets on the apron coming around for his pit stop. So green flag pit stop starting now, Tracy.
Yep, your leader Kyle Lent has entered the pit road. I tell you what, there shows you they only made it 15 laps that time, JD, from the time they pitted before. So I tell you what, they're not getting the mileage or tire wear out of that 16 car they'd like to have tonight. And same with the 21 of Tony Bowling. Tell you what, it's going to make it really tough for them for the end of the race. They've got at least one more stop to go, JD.
Yeah, at least one more pit stop here at Indianapolis. Green flag pit stops underway. Tony Bowling taking 4 tires and a full tank of gas up here. Kyle Lent still sitting in his pit box up here as Tony Bowling works his way down, and out goes Kyle Lent back out on the track. And let's see, Riddle and Wilson heading down pit road. Is Chris Melton almost, man, I tell you what, if that's not a speeding penalty, I don't know what it is. Melton smoking the tires, trying to woe that machine up, entering the pit area.
Yeah, everybody be getting in, getting 4 new tires. Pack that thing full of fuel. They need to at least make it to lap be 55, JD. No, lap 60 to finish up this race on fuel and tires, guys.
You know, this may come to a, you know, like Daytona we saw last week at the Halls on Post Monday night race. You know, this may boil down to a fuel mileage race. You know, Joe DePino won it on fuel mileage last week at Daytona, Tracy. So, you know, we might be setting ourselves up for a mileage race here at the end.
Tell you what, I see one car that is right in that. There looks like as far as mileage goes, that Jesse Racines, we'll be looking for him to be pitting a lap 55, JD. That'll leave him exactly 15 laps to the end of the race. So he'll be set for fuel then, JD.
I'll tell you what, crew chief's working over the calculators pretty hard, I'm sure, right now. 47 laps in the books, guys. So this has all the earmark of playing out to a fuel mileage game here. As a caution comes out on lap 47, looks like the 70 car of Jesse Racines bringing out the caution this time, guys. So that may throw the fuel mileage thing clear out the window this time around, Tracy.
Yeah, that kind of killed that fuel strategy there, but I tell you what, for the guys who have stayed out that possibly could help them, they're going to be in front of those leaders and possibly gets everybody tightened back up, JD.
Let's see what happens here. Jesse Racines pushes to the high side. There's probably going to be a lot of loose marbles. And Jesse Racines and Red Bull both going to find that out quick. As they hit the outside wall, barely missing it. It looks like Jason Riddle just barely missing him. And he's going to squeeze, quite a few cars going to squeeze below him here. And he's going to ride outside along the wall in the wrong direction, JD Webb.
In the wrong direction. I'll tell you what, caution number 2 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jesse the wall banging Racines. I'll tell you what, if his luck don't run, I don't know what does. You know, Jesse Racines, you got to give him credit though. I mean, he gets out here and he tries and he tries and he tries, but you know, sometimes I think his brain dribbles down to his left foot there a little bit, and he just gets a little too throttle happy. What do you think, Tracy?
Yeah, I tell you what, Jesse was given that 2 tires to try. I think that could possibly be part of it. And he was trying to leave room for them guys down below. Looks like he just got up the marbles and that thing come around on him. But I tell you what, by the time this race goes green again, JD, any of them cars out there who had the fuel mileage setup may be the catbird right now, because this race is going to restart with 19 laps to go, I bet.
Yeah, you know what? We'll see who's got what here, but you know, this may be playing out. Caution might have come just a little bit too early to throw the fuel mileage thing out the window. But I'll tell you what, I think we slipped right back into it here. You know, we were talking earlier, 16 to 20 laps on fuel mileage here. We've seen them all pitting around the 20 lap mark or so. So I don't know. We'll just have to keep an eye on things and see how it plays out here at Indianapolis. It looks like everybody's coming down pit road, Tracy.
Yeah, everybody's going to be hitting pit road, JD, because they need to get all the fuel they can. As Don Klein is out of fuel. Don Klein is out of fuel, guys. Couldn't make the next lap run, but he's getting help from that 70 at Jesse Themis, giving him push back into pit lane. But as I said, JD, this is where we're going to see who's got the fuel mileage and who don't, guys.
Don Klein running out of gas there before he gets to the pits, and still trying to get a push from that 70 machine going down into his pit box. That'll set that 52 machine back quite a ways, and coming out of the pits here. But I tell you what, this is turning out to be quite a race here at Indianapolis for the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series as we work caution number 2 here on lap 49. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take a real quick commercial break, and we'll bring you the action back live here on ETV Live. Hey, it's the only choice, and you're watching it. The Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Whoa there, cowboy. Ain't no need to get the hammers out and tear it all up. What you need to do is get a hold of David Bass, DB Tech Services. Technology support offered at a price affordable to most churches, not-for-profits, and individual customers. I'll tell you what, David Bass, IT specialist, over 5 years at the corporate level. Hey man, computer maintenance, hardware and software upgrades. I'll tell you what, David Bass DB Tech Services, established specifically to provide lower cost options to churches and non-profit organizations. So put the hammer away, dude. Get a hold of David Bass, DB Tech Services, dbtechservice.com. All right, we are back live. DB Tech Services, I'll tell you what, you got some computer problems, get a hold of David Bass, DB Tech Services, and he'll help you right out there. DB Tech Services and dbtechservice.com, I believe, is what the URL is. I want to say good evening to David Bass. I see him sitting down there in the chat room, sitting down with his mom down there, the Dragon Queen herself, Wendy Bernard.
And guess what, JD?
David Bass.
We're going to get to see old David Bass in action tomorrow night at the Sim Factory.
You bet. To tell you what, the Sim Factory going to be over there with Octane Racing back in the saddle again. It'll be me and David Bass up in the booth tomorrow night, and I'm sure Tracy, you can tag along with us too. I mean, we do need somebody to keep the buffet table filled.
That's what I was going to say. Could you imagine what David Bass would bring for a buffet table?
I don't know. You know what? Wendy Bernard's been doing a pretty decent job hauling up some pretty decent food. I think it was wasn't it a seafood buffet last time, John, or what was that?
I just hope he don't bring anything from that junkyard from his commercial there where he's throwing them old computer boxes out. I mean, somebody might have thrown an old rib box or old rib leftovers or something in one of them old computer boxes, you know, JD. So I sure hope he don't bring those.
Like an old pizza box or something.
Late night repair dinner.
Hey, you know what? This might not be ESPN, but I'll tell you what, boys, we do have a whole lot more fun than DW and Larry and all them other dudes, you know it?
We ain't got the producers in our ears whispering us, telling us what to say, JD.
I don't remember any NASCAR announcers or anything ever being called Tracy the Flip Robinson. Do you, JD?
For the cowboy. Hey, you know what? Hey, dude, you got to look back out here on the track. Kyle Lentz slipping back to 6th position, guys. I'll tell you what, Chris Wilson, Jason Riddle, you know, Elite Sim Racing, and we'll talk about these guys a little bit here over at the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. I'll tell you what, this team is like top-notch. What a pair. But I tell you, Chris Wilson out in front, Jason Riddle going to help back him up on this one. 99 Steven Spieth running in 3rd. Dwayne Hall sticking around in the top 5. Got sent back here a little bit ago on a caution with a pit stop. Got cycled back quite a bit, but he's back up in there in the top 5. And I tell you what, this thing cycles around. Looks like it's going to put Dwayne Hall out in front, guys, as Wilson and Riddle come back down pit road again. And here's the fuel strategy playing out as we were talking, Tracy. I got the funny feeling that Wilson and Riddle are probably going to top off a half a can and get that extra lap in there. Dwayne Hall, Sean Brown, Tony Bowling, these guys might be sitting ducks. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, JD, I think they're all kind of sitting ducks. Most of these cars never made a 19-lap run. These guys are all right between that 16 and 18-lap run. So I tell you what, they're still pushing it to get a 19 because if we're going to go green, that's what they're going to have left, JD.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how this plays out, guys. Dwayne Hall out there in front, Sean Brown running in second, 21. Tony Bowling, the other Halls on Post team, out there in third. And then running in fourth, the 37 car of Jay Bunna. Jay's got a pretty good record here, too. He's won a race, finishing the top 10 a couple of times here at Indianapolis. And look at the number 8 machine for Dragon Motorsports out there, Dave Hooten. Frankie Samanto, another Dragon Motorsports driver out there running in 6th. Chris Wilson coming out, he's going to run in, he's going to fall in behind Samanto in 7th. And Kyle Lent running in 8th. 9th is Don Klein, who we saw ran out of gas on that pit stop, had to get pushed by the 70 car to make it to his pit box. But tell you what happened to Jason Riddle? Jason Riddle moving up into the 10th position, Tracy.
Yeah, pretty much everybody from, well, Jason Riddle back all stopped for fuel there, JD, so that put him back behind the pack. But we're going to find out how that 16 of Kyle Lent's car really works. He hasn't been back there in that dirty area yet tonight, JD, so let's see how he does for trying to pass cars tonight.
Oh, Kyle Lent just discoed, or he disconnected one of the two guys, that 16 car Kyle Lent, in the garage on the hauler.
Green flag.
Oh,
Go,
tough night as
Green.
we take the green flag. Dwayne Hall is going to pick up the green flag this time as Kyle Lent. What an upset. We'll have to see if we can get in touch with the kid and find out what took place down there. But Dwayne Hall, Sean Brown, as Sean Brown gets out of shape, and Tony Bowling comes flying past him, Tracy, trying to get up with his teammate Dwayne Hall up here. And Jay Bunn back here in the 37 machine just kind of wheeling around, and he's got the draft on Sean Brown right now going down the backstretch.
Yeah, I tell you what, you got Sean Brown up there. He's going to be thinking fuel mileage. I'm not going to push. I'm going to check up a little earlier into these corners, save myself a little fuel, and try to get this car all the way to the end. As Sean Brown really gets loose coming out of that corner, as Jay Bunn moves to the outside of that 65 Sean Brown. Man, tell you what, that's 2 great saves of Sean Brown there. It's 37 past them, JD.
18 laps left here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling, Dwayne Hall up here. Tony Bowling on the bottom, trying to get after that 55 machine, and he's going to get him going into turn 1 here. Tony on the bottom. Dwayne Hall going to give it up to his teammate heading into turn 2, coming down the short chute. It'll be Tony Bowling coming off the turn here, going down the backstretch. But I'll tell you what, this might be too much too soon here. Tracy, we're talking about fuel mileage here. And we've got, 17 laps left to go here at Indianapolis. So we'll have to see how this game out here in front, Tony Bowling, Dwayne Hall, play out. Jason Riddle and Chris Wilson back here in 7th and 8th position. They came in on that last pit stop one more time and topped it off. So they are definitely playing the fuel mileage game here.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm watching Chris Wilson here. Tell you what, not the easiest to move back around people as he gets around the 22 of Frankie Smile to push. But now that 84 car of Chris Wilson is stuck to the outside of that 22, and that's not where you want to be. It's really tough to get around somebody on that outside as he follows the 8 of Dave Hooten around the track and try to make up some spots there, JD. But I'm sure the 55s told the 21, go ahead, you can lead. I'll save some fuel following your draft.
Yeah, there you go. It was Wilson bump drafting Hooten right on down the backstretch down there. Hooten staying up on the top side. Looks like he's going to give it up to Wilson as Frankie Samanto gets past the 96 machine of Riddle on the bottom. Hey, we got a race happening back here in about 7th, 8th, and 9th position back here, guys. Riddle fighting back on the inside. Going to get past that number 8 of Dave Hooten.
Yeah, I want to pull this back just for just a quick second here, JD. Just about a half a lap go here. Don Klein came in the corner, got a little hot right behind Jason Riddle, and he had to hit the brakes, and wicked loose hits the outside wall right in front of that 33 car, Jerry Hinkle. Jerry Hinkle did a great job missing Klein. Klein's in the outside wall, guys.
Wow, tough night for that 52 machine Don Klein, running out of gas down there right there on pit road on that last caution, and having to get pushed in by Racimus, who is having his own troubles tonight. Back here with Frankie Samato in 6th position, fighting it out with Chris Wilson up here. Remember, Chris Wilson and Jason Riddle stopped again on that last caution, and went around on the final lap, pick up another half a can of fuel just to top it off, see if they can't squeeze that one extra lap out of it. But I'll tell you what, they've got a long ways to go to get up to Tony Bowling. Tony Bowling's got about a 3.5 second lead over Wilson, and Riddle trying to work himself up to Chris Wilson. Teammates here for Elite Sim Racing, guys. I'll tell you what, Elite Sim Racing team giving up the points over there at the MTCO.com Team Racing Series last week to Can-Am Racing. I'll tell you that was quite an upset, Tracy, but we're geared up for Wednesday night at Atlanta over there at the MTCO.com Team Racing Series.
Yeah, JD, I'm watching here. It looks like that Tony Bowling car is possibly getting a little loose. I think Dwayne Hall was able to get down below him. But if you watch, them guys are playing the snake game down the front straightaway and the back stretch, going all the way to that inside wall and then going back to the outside wall, trying to break that draft of each other, and also the 37 of Jay Bunn.
Now you bet. And, you know, back to the MTCO.com Team Racing Series, I told you that the Can-Am had taken over the lead last week. I'll tell you what, going in this week, Elite Sim Racing got it back, 834 points to Can-Am Racing's 811 points. But you know what? The battle over there ain't over. Tune in on Wednesday night, 8:40 p.m. ETV Live for the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. But I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling out here in front with Dwayne Hall. We're checking to see if these guys are going to have enough fuel or not to make it the rest of the way. Chris Wilson and Jason Riddle, teammates for Elite, topped off on that last pit stop, along with, I believe it was Beardsworth, DePino, Gabaldon, Spies, a number of them, Tracy. So I'll tell you what, we don't know whether Dwayne Hall and Tony Bowling are setting themselves up for... as Hall gets into the wall coming off of turn 1, guys.
At JD Webb, where did this 37 car Jay Bunn come from? All of a sudden, he's way up front in 3rd place, and he's trying to catch up to the back of Dwayne Hall. In fact, he was right on the bumper of these two just a lap ago until Dwayne Hall must have startled him a little bit when he hit the wall. But this 37 car is on the move.
I'll tell you what, you go back to January 24th of this year, Jay Bunn wins the race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. On January 20th, he came in 9th here at Indianapolis. On March 27th, Jay Bunn finished in the top 5. He finished 4th here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I'll tell you what, Jay Bunn absolutely knows what to do to get around this track, to get her up in front, and that's exactly what he's doing, John Wessling, is moving that machine forward. I'll tell you what, he's got Tony Bowling and Dwayne Hall to duke it out with when he gets up there. A little over 2 seconds back is 65 car, Shad Brown. I'll tell you what, we haven't seen him this far forward in a number of races, Tracy. It's good to see the 65 machine for True Gravity up here in the top 5.
Yeah, he's been having a good race. He started out in the back tonight too, JD, and he just slowly worked his way forward as Sean Brown normally does. Tell you what, I got to think he's back there just kind of taking it easy, saving his tires and fuel, hoping for this run will go completely through to the checkered flag, and probably waiting to see how many people are going to run out, JD.
10 laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. I'll tell you what, this is coming down to a what may play out to be a fuel strategy race as the 22 machine gives up 6th position to Jason Riddle and moves around Frankie Samato here. I'll tell you what, Frankie Samato for Dragon Motorsports up here in the top 10 with Dave Hoot and his teammate running in 9th, John.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are having really good runs tonight. Dave Houghton, he's doing a spectacular job keeping Brent's at bay behind him, and we know how fast Brent's is almost every track. He's kind of in a sandwich right now with that Can-Am racing team, the 78 of Chris Melton and that 42 of Kevin Brent's, which also both them drivers having great runs tonight.
You bet. You know what? Then I think I just heard the door open and close, and I turn around, and in walks the kid, Kyle Lent. And Kyle forced to put his car in a hauler down there. Kyle, have a seat, my friend. What happened down there?
Well, man, we dominated this race from start to, well, almost to finish, and the electric went out. So, rough time over here right now.
Well, that's unbelievable. And I tell you what, you were letting it all hang out out there in the front. You absolutely had a solid car out there. I'll tell you what, we've been talking about it here for the last few laps since that last caution. We got Tony Bowling and Dwayne Hall out there in the lead. You know, and now on that last caution, Jason Riddle and Chris Wilson came in and topped it off. We're looking at fuel strategy possibly playing out here. What's your take on that?
Well, fuel strategy is definitely going to play a huge role in here. Tony Bowling and Dwayne Hall are not going to be able to make it on fuel.
All right, yellow flag. Back it down.
I pitted with Riddle and Wilson, and I know they have the fuel to make it.
Well, I hate to break that one up, but I think they will make it now as we have our third caution of the night, guys. And I'm hearing it's a number 70, Jesse Racimas, one more time here. Caution coming out on lap 62. So Kyle, that pretty much throws the fuel strategy game clear out the window, my friend.
It still might play a little bit of a role. I'm not sure how much fuel Tony Bowling and Dwayne have, so they might pit.
Yeah, this was a heck of a lick by Jesse this time, guys. He comes flying through turn one here. It looks like he never lets off the throttle. Going to grab a little bit of the apron here, and he is going to take off like a rocket ship, smacks the outside wall. Oh, in fact, he just misses the outside wall, and he's going to plow the inside wall a ton.
Jesse, the wall banger Racimas, I'll tell you what, just runs out of luck here about halfway through the race, I'll tell you, Tracy. But you know what? We're keeping an eye on 21 car Tony Bowling and that 55 machine of Dwayne Hall. And, you know, this could be a unusual pit stop. We don't know whether they're going to come in and pit or not. Kyle Lent seems to think that they'll have to come in and pit. Doesn't think that they'll have enough gas to make it along all the way to the end. But we're on a pace lap here. So, you know, you could probably save about a half a lap maybe of fuel, you know, in the three pace laps we have here. We know that Chris Wilson and Jason Riddle can make it to the end. So I don't think we're going to see those two coming down pit road. 7 laps to go here, and we'll only have about maybe 5 of them to go when we get the green flag, Tracy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, JD, you got to look at this. If you're the top 5 cars or top 3, and everybody behind you stops to get fuel and tires, you're going to be a sitting duck out there for them 5 laps, JD. Tires are that much more of a difference in speed out there. It's all a matter if you're just going to take a splash of fuel and 2 tires. Let's see how many just take a splash of fuel, though, and see how many take tires, because I tell you what, tires are pretty helpful at the end of this race, JD.
You bet. There's all of them coming down pit road, guys. All your leaders heading down pit road. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be staying out. Joe DePino in that 34 car is the only car, looks like so far, that's staying out on the track, guys. So here we go. The race is going to be on pit road. Is Dwayne Hall, Jason Riddle, Chris Wilson, Tony Bowling, all your leaders down here pitting for the last time here at Indianapolis. And it looks like Jay Bunn makes it out of the pits first. Tony Bowling, Dwayne Hall behind him. Chris Melton still sitting in his box. Danny Gabaldon making it out. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a pretty unusual finish here tonight, Tracy. I'll tell you, a good race here at Indianapolis for the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. And I tell you, Tony Bowling and Jay Bunn, Dwayne Hall up here, they've got the 34 car of Joe DePino to contend with now.
You got Joe DePino with no tires and fuel, Jay Bunn, the 21 of Tony Bowling and the 55 Dwayne Hall, and it looks like the 62, 65. All those cars took 2 tires. 84 and back all took 4, JD.
I'll tell you what, this is gonna be one of those trophy finishes, I think. I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take our last and final commercial break here at the MTC or at the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. So hey, don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey dudes, this is JD here from ETV Live. I want to tell you about the new ePlay store. You got to check this place out. ETV-eplay.net. Get over there, get signed up, and if you're a race fan, any kind of a fan of online racing, you got to check this place out. Get your fill. Halls on Post Monday Night Series. Hey, the True Gravity Arts Truck Series on Tuesday nights. Even the MTCO.com Team Racing Series replays are over there. Get signed up. Do it today. ETV-eplay.net. 99 cents per download. $10. Get you 15 downloads. Get over there and get signed up now. This special won't last long. ETV-eplay.net. Do it tonight. All right, and we are back live. Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. I'll tell you what, we're set to take the green flag here one more time around. 5 laps to go in this race tonight. I'll tell you what, you want to watch this race again? Get over to the ePlay store, etv-eplay.net, and it'll be available probably by tomorrow afternoon. 99 cents, $15 for $10 for 15 downloads over there. And I'll tell you what, as John said tonight, out of the box, I tell you, next season you sign up over at racesimnation.com, pay your $10 entry fee for the season, you get all the ePlays downloaded for free. Hey, you know what, Tracy? This is going to be one of those nights. I'll tell you what, Joe DePino, the counselor out there in front, now he won at Daytona last week. Jay Bunn in that 37 machine, he's won here before and has finished in the top 10 quite a few times. Tony Bowling, he's got a number of top 5 finishes here. Dwayne Hall has won this race before, and Danny Gabaldon has finished well here a couple times before too. I tell you what, this is going to be quite a finish to this one tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You got, like I said, all the different strategies and tires right up there front. And tell you what, if we're going green flag now, that could give them 4 laps to go, and we still do have the option for the green and white checkered at the end, JD.
You bet, green, white, checkered. Here's how it works. They get one shot at it, and the caution's got to come out before that white flag lap. So I'll tell you what, we get past that point. Once Joe DePino picks up that white flag, it's game over. Whatever happens is going to happen on that lap. And I'll tell you what, sure be nice for the counselor to pick up one more trophy in the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series right here at Indianapolis tonight. And we'll see if Joe can get the job done. And as Tracy said, pace car pulling off to the left, going down pit road here. I'll tell you what, it's going to be 4 laps left. Joe DePino is going to collect that green flag, lay it gently on the seat next to him as we are off to racing one more time here at Indianapolis. I'll tell you what, Jay Bunn looking on the inside of Joe DePino. Can't get the job done going into turn 1 here, guys. Tony Bowling looking underneath Jay Bunn here, side by side. Oh, contact with Jay Bunn and Tony Bowling. Jay Bunn now side by side with the counselor, Joe DePino. Tony Bowling is just all over the bumpers. The caution comes out on lap 66, guys. I'll tell you what, there was some heavy-duty racing going on up here in the front as we cycle around. Looks like a 96 machine of Jason Riddle, John, caught up in that caution. Elite Sim Racing, Chris Wilson's teammate, the 96 car, Jason Riddle, going around on lap 66.
Yeah, I see Frankie Samanto around too. I'm not sure what happened here as they're going to pile drive into the turn here. Melton's all over Riddle, and it looks like he got Riddle loose here. Wow, guys. Let me pull this back a little bit. I missed the main action, but it looks like that Melton car got Riddle really loose through the corner and just didn't let up till Riddle was in the wall. Wow! He hits Frankie Samanto a ton, guys. Puts that, yeah, this is not very pretty here, guys.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to bump draft in the turns at Indianapolis, Tracy. What do you think?
least not through the corners. Maybe he had something back on him that he needed to thank him for here, JD.
Well, I tell you what, that 78 machine just pulled right up to the 96 and just shoving him right around through the corners. I think the idea was there probably just to get him just a little bit loose and force him up out of the lane a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I think it kind of backfired on him. As man, that 96 machine just gets plowed into the outside wall. That's unfortunate for Jason Riddle tonight. But I'll tell you what, what a night we're having here. Third caution coming out on lap 66. So again, this might set up quite a unique finish here tonight, Tracy.
Tell you what, if it's anything like we just had there, just on that restart, I tell you what, JD, we're going to be lucky to make it 3 laps again here on the green and white checkered.
Yeah, we've got we're showing 3 laps left in the race here as we cycle around on this one. I don't know if we'll set this thing up for a green and white checkered here or not.
Cars. We can pit now.
But pit road, they're waving the green flag down on pit road, so pit road is open. Don't think we're going to get any takers down pit road this time. It was just a lap ago that everybody came down pit road. Joe DePino was the only one that stayed out, and he got cycled back into third. Tony Bowling making quick action of that. But I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling just absolutely coming on strong as that last restart. So Tony Bowling and Jay Bunn, this is going to be quite a start up here in the front.
Yeah, I wouldn't look for Jay Bunn to move out of the way for anybody. He's going to do everything he can to hold that position without causing any cautions. He'll move every direction that Tony does at this moment. Tell you what, you're at the end of the Indy race with only a couple laps to go. You're going to do everything you can to stay up front.
Yeah, you got that right. Hey, just looking over here in the chat room again, I want to say good evening to Nicole Griegate over there. James Griegate missing from the track tonight, so if he's not at home, he's not out here at the track, Nicole, so have no idea where he's at tonight. JJ Schlafer sitting down there in the chat room tonight, too. JJ, how come you're not out here at Indianapolis tonight, my friend? I'll tell you what, next week, you don't want to miss this race here at the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. John's favorite track, Pocono, down there in Florida. Going to be happening next week on the 8th, right here on ETV Live. So don't miss that one. Everybody loves Pocono. Ask Jerry Wolf about it.
The old favorite Pocono, where Jerry figures you'll never get out of there with at least 6 cautions, JD.
I'll tell you what, do not walk up to Jerry Wolf and start talking about how much you like Pocono. You'll be there all night long listening to him tell you why he hates it.
Tell you what though, we've had a really good race here at Indianapolis. Looks like we're right in that area to meet our average there. Boy, I hear the door just opened. Oh, Jerry came in. Hey, Jerry.
Oh, you heard the door open all right. I got to tell you about Pocono. Pocono sucks. That's all I got to say about that, JD Webb.
Well, we don't have enough time. We've only got about 2 laps left in this thing, so we really don't have enough time to get involved with Pocono tonight with Jerry Wolf. But I'll tell you what, we are set up for a green-white checkered finish here, and we were just talking about it. Once that white flag flies, Tracy, it's game over, and you got to collect it up and get her done on that lap. Now, if the caution flies before the white flag comes out, the race will finish under green behind the pace car. We only get one shot at the green-white checkered, so they got one more time to get the job done here, Tracy.
So, like I said, JD, it's going to be really interesting to see if we can't get through the first couple corners here without having a caution. So I tell you what, we got a lot of drivers up there going to be pretty. They do know there's some cars back there with 4 tires, and they want to get out there in front and clean air and put a few slower cars in between to hold them guys up, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you what, keeping an eye on the leaders out here. Jay Bunn sitting out there in first. Tony Bowling. That's going to be your race right there. Joe DePino hoping for a good finish tonight, coming off a win at Daytona last week. That was a fuel mileage game for that 34 machine. And of course, Dwayne Hall sitting back here in fourth. He's got his teammate Tony Bowling up there in second. And then behind them, he's got the 62 car of Danny Cabal. And Danny having a tremendous night here at Indianapolis at the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Pace car is going to pull down pit road this time around, and we're going to get back to green flag racing here at the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a terrific finish, so sit up, pay attention.
Yeah, JD, I'm kind of paying attention to the chat room a little bit there. We may need to send a referee down there to keep things calm.
Oh, yeah? Who's making trouble down there, the kid?
Oh, they're all discussing that last incident a little bit.
Tracy, I see him down on the backstretch already, putting a pole up with a loop on it. So I don't know if they're going to hang poor Melton after the race or what they're doing over there. But you got to go back there and see if you can straighten that out.
All right, green flag is Tony Bowling just boots the 37 machine up here. I tell you what, bump drafting down the front stretch on the green flag here at Indianapolis. Tony almost gets sideways going into the turn. I tell you what, he's got DePino back here behind him watching all this take place, hoping that one of those two guys up there in front is going to make a mistake here. But Tony Bowling bouncing off the bumper to the 37 machine. Bunn trying to do the block on the 21 machine. Can't get it done. Tony getting up alongside. I'll tell you what, this is absolutely the race of all races going down the backstretch right here. Bunn gets the run going into the turn. Tony on the bottom. Can't get the job done on the outside. Bunn into the wall. Bunn losing positions to Hall. I'll tell you what, Tracy, this is going to be quite the finish. As Sean Brown now sitting up there in fourth position. And I'll tell you what, got Bunn right out there in front of him. Bunn, lots of damage coming off that wall, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's really going to kill Jay Bunn. Like I said, he came out there with two tires, doing everything he could with his car to try to keep it out in front of them guys. You know, he was hoping that a caution would come out. It looks like we're keeping it clean and green right at the moment. I'll tell you what, got Dwayne Hall all over the back of that number 21 car. Tell you what, just hoping they make a mistake as Sean Brown is running third, JD.
You bet. And this is on. We are on the white flag lap, so whatever happens behind Bowling and Hall happens. And I'll tell you what, Hall working that turn 3 up, trying to get up to Tony Bowling. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough to get up there. Tony Bowling coming off of turn 4 right now, heading down the front stretch. Calls on post, all in the Hall family tonight, 1 and 2. Tony Bowling, Hall, and for the checkered flag down here. Looks like Dwayne Hall is going to pick up second place. Sean Brown third. Chris Melton fourth. Fifth place tonight for Dragon Motorsports, Dave Hooten.
And in fifth place tonight, the sixth place tonight, the 42 of Kevin Brent.
I tell you what, that was quite a race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I think we're getting out of here with 3 cautions here tonight at Indianapolis. Not bad for 70 laps at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Tracy. But I tell you what, no better finish than that happens right here at the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. And I tell you, duking it out there, Tony Bowling just had it together, coming from dead last all the way up to the front to collect the checkered flag and the trophy for tonight.
Yeah, he did a great job, JD. Tell you what, can't wait to talk to these drivers about the end of that race.
You bet, as they all come back around, and Tony Bowling going to head for that yard of bricks up there and leave his mark right there at the start-finish line. But we'll watch him pull up and burn off a few inches of rubber here.
Think he'll kiss the bricks, JD? Let's see if he gets out of his car and kisses them bricks.
There he goes. Tony Bowling winning the race. I believe this is his. Well, I have to look back through the stats here. I don't think Tony's ever won here before, if I'm right. No, Tony Bowling has not won here at Indianapolis, so this has got to be a pretty special night for him tonight at Halls on Post number 21 machine. But I'll tell you what, While Tony's burning them off down here at the start-finish line, we're going to go ahead and step away and take a commercial break. We're going to get ready for the MTCO.com post-race show here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, we are back live. MTCO. What am I talking about here? Read the script, dude.
Script.
Where's the? Hey, would somebody fire up that teleprompter up there in front of me, or what's the deal here? Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. I tell you what a race here at Indianapolis, and I'll tell you what, we even as far as caution goes, came under the average for the nation here at Indianapolis. But you know what? Victory Circle tonight belongs to none other than Tony Bowling. And I'll tell you what, Tony Bowling, from dead last all the way up to the front to collect the trophy. Tell me how you got that job done.
Well, JD, it was never the intention to start dead last. Had a bad qualifying attempt and knew that I was going to have my work cut out for me, and just kind of took it slow and easy there at the beginning, and, you know, took my time. And knew that I had a good setup under me. Me and Kyle Lent worked on a setup all evening. I think we ran probably 200 practice laps here just trying to dial something in. And it paid off. We really had a good setup. Kyle led a whole bunch of laps with the setup, and then, you know, once he fell out, it was my turn.
You know, we were watching as this thing played out. It got down to us talking about a fuel mileage race taking place up here. Coming off that caution on lap 48, you and Dwayne Hall stayed out on the track. Chris Wilson and Jason Riddle were out in front. They gave up those two positions, come down pit road, get a half a can of gas, and we were sure that that was going to set them up. What was going through your mind on that pit stop there? Did you guys have enough gas to make it, or how was that going to play out for you?
It's hard to say. I was about, when that green flag started, or green flag started, I was showing about 3 laps short on gas, and when the caution came out, I was down to about half a lap short on gas. So with the 6 or 7 laps we had to go, I might have been very, very close to being able to stretch it.
I'll tell you what, it didn't play out that way, but it did play into your hands. I'll tell you what, finishing first here, Indianapolis, kind of a special track, that yard of bricks down there, and I know you're just itching to get down there and kneel down and plant a big one right there at the start-finish line. But I'll tell you what, any shout-outs out there that you want to give?
Well, I definitely got to give a shout-out to my team owner, Angela Halls, and Halls on Post, team captain Dwayne, my teammates James and JJ. Even though they wasn't here tonight, they both have a lot of input on, you know, our setups we do. And also got to give a shout out to Kyle Lent. Like I said, me and him worked on a setup all night, and, you know, it paid off.
Well, congratulations. I know Kyle was quite disturbed with the electrical problems that he had with his car tonight. He may be getting out of here by leading the most laps. But, again, congratulations to Tony Bowling, that 21 Halls on Post machine tonight. I'm going to throw it on down pit road here just a little bit. Tracy Flip Robinson standing by with Dwayne Hall.
Yeah, guys, I got up to Dwayne Hall. Great night, Dwayne. You qualified in 4th. Scott up there to 2nd place, ran around the front all day. Tell you what, you did a great job.
Yeah, it was fun. Car ran good. Me and Tony were running something a little bit different. I think actually they were better than I was. I probably should have took what they had. But I just hung in there the best I could. Got a little damage, bounced off the wall once, and just took 2 tires in the last pit stop and hoped I could make it.
Yeah, there towards the end when you saw Tony and Jay Bunn really getting into it, were you thinking that was your opportunity?
Well, I was hoping not. Tony ran good, and I was fine with him winning. I was hoping they weren't going to have an issue and collect me in it. Was going to be the biggest problem.
All right, Dwayne, is there anybody you want to thank out there?
Yes, my wife Angela, Miss Hall's on post. Of course, my teammates. It's fun working with those guys. They do a good job. Obviously, they put a good set together for this track. I should have used it. Sorry James couldn't make it tonight. I know he's hating it, but that's how it goes. Life gets in the way of racing sometimes.
All right, guys, that's your second place finish tonight. The 55 of Dwayne Hall, and I'll throw it up to John.
Thank you, Tracy. I've caught up my old buddy Sean Brown at 65 no true gravity art design machine. His team owner got to actually watch a whole race tonight. Sean, what do you think of that?
Well, hopefully he was proud. That's all I can say.
Sean, you drove a spectacular race tonight. You seem to run right outside the top 5 race week in and week out here in the Halls on Post All Pro Series. You snuck yourself in a 3rd place finish. What was the trick tonight on this great Indianapolis track Dwayne Hall's put together?
Well, I tell you, I really hope that it wasn't 2X fuel, because the longer I went, the better I got. I mean, my car was really, really good on old tires. It would turn down in real nice, and I could just pick the throttle right back up, and wouldn't get loose, and it just kept turning, go right out to the wall. So, real comfortable car to drive tonight, and good on tire wear. So, I think with that, and then the way the cautions fell, it worked out in my favor.
Just go back a few laps there right before that last caution. Would you have had enough fuel to make it to the end and maybe out-fuel or outsmarted Tony Boland that 21 machine and Dwayne Hall in that 55?
Yeah, I think Tony was telling a story. I was about 2 laps short, and there was no way they were saving. I mean, I saved a little bit there to get going. I was like, they're they were gone. I was like, they're not saving. So I went, started running them back down a little bit, and then the caution came out. But I was going to have to pit, and I was glad to see the caution come out.
Well, Sean, another spectacular run by you tonight in that the 65 True Gravity Arch Design machine. Anybody want to give a shout out before we close the show out here tonight?
Yeah, gotta thank Dan White. He put this setup together, and I tweaked on it quite a bit to get it to my liking, and worked out for us. And of course, got to thank my team owner, Sean Bickle. Stuck in there with me through the tough times, and hopefully we can take this momentum and keep getting some good finishes.
There you have it, J.D. Webb. I suppose it's about time to close out the show. We're about out of ribs in the pan here.
Holy cow. I tell you what, congratulations to all of our drivers tonight, especially the top 3, Tony Bowling, Dwayne Hall, and Sean Brown. I'll tell you what, Tracy, it was a Tony Bowling night. He's 7th in the points. He moved up 3 positions last week. I'll tell you what, he's only 49 points behind the lead, a couple of points away from Dwayne Hall, who sits in 6th. So it's definitely a good thing for Tony Bowling tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, this was just a great race we had out there tonight, JD. Tell you what, pretty competitive there towards the end. Looked like everybody was just running nice and clean throughout the night. And I tell you what, it was an enjoyable night here in Indianapolis tonight.
You bet. I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and thank some of the people that helped put this thing on for us tonight.
Yeah, we'd like to thank True Gravity Arts Design for sponsoring the series. They're kind of like the people who put the house on roof over our head. And then we like to I'd like to thank the MTCO gaming servers. This is where everything happened. If it wasn't for MTCO, we wouldn't be out here running this. And NVG web hosting, they handle control of all our websites and our place to meet in the times. Also, DB Tech Service for helping keeping everything running out here tonight. And the ARCA League Manager, they keep control of all our standings and our stats. JD?
You bet, and don't want to leave out Halls on Post sponsoring the Monday Night Pro Series here. See Angela Hall for your tax and accounting services over at hallsonpost.com. Tell you what, Exile Racing, the nation itself, racesimnation.com. Jody Johnson, ETV Live journalist, for the RSN weekly headlines and the Off the Track series. Check out the power rankings for next week as soon as Jody gets them up for Pocono. ETV executive producer John the Bad Boy Westling. ETV junior producer, you heard his voice tonight on Pit Road, Jerry Wolf. And to Dwayne Hall for reworking the tracks for the nation. Outstanding job on a lot of these tracks that let us have the kind of races that we like to see out here at the nation. I'll tell you what, and Tracy Robinson, I'll tell you what, no better co-host than Tracy Robinson. We do have a blast up here with John Westling and on Monday nights, and of course Jerry Wolf on Wednesday nights. And I'll tell you what, thanks to all the drivers for an outstanding season of great racing. And correction on the True Gravity Arch Design, they will be sponsoring a series next season, I do believe. But True Gravity Arch Design, Sean Bickle, he kind of decorates the house that we live in here at the nation. So, and of course, all the people in chat room out there in ETV land. I'll tell you what, no better entertainment on a Monday night than sitting right here on ETV Live and watching the races that take place here at the nation. That's going to be a wrap from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Halls on Post Monday Night Pro Series. Tracy and I will see you on Wednesday night at the MTCO.com Team Racing Series, 8:40 p.m., so don't miss that one. We'll see you there.